Hi YouTube, TK here. In this video we've got 3 minis and one with twin carburetors, which turned out to be quite troublesome. Unfortunately I didn't get all the footage that I wanted to on it regarding that, just showing the differences in the pistons. There were 2 different pistons in these carbs. One was a newer one was an older one, and there was quite a difference between them. So I do apologise for not being able to show you that, but without more being said, let's get into it. Here we've got a wee Mini 1000, I believe. Done a whole lot of repairs on it, including the front brakes. I've done a trailing arm, new steering rack. But just getting stuck into the tune, I thought I'd better set the tappets on this one because it hasn't had a service or a tune for quite a few years. And just getting straight into it, I'm using a 19th hour feeler blade. This is a stepped one. These are one of Snap-on's range. So right there is where they change from 19 to 21 thou. So right there is, I can't quite push that through. So yeah, that's only meant to be 12 thou on a standard engine. So I'll go through here, set these, and then I'll get into the I'll get further into the tune. Noting that this one has a Nissan or a Datsun distributor fitted to it with a transformer type coil. So those are all set up now. Obviously the cover's back on. I'll just show you these plugs that I pulled out of it the other day. So these, as you can see, got the 3 electrodes on them. The gaps are going to be too massive on those. These are basically a waste of time on an engine like this. So it's got a set of gapped BP 5ES spark plugs. So I'll go through it and start the tune on it now, and we'll carry on. Right, so I've gone through the ignition timing on this. Realistically, the distributor needs to be replaced for one that's got a better curve. It's getting quite a slow advance. So I've improved it so far, but obviously it's not the greatest. So now I'll get on to the fueling side of it. Ended up having to actually wind the jet tube up to lean it out 6 full turns. So just a wee bit of an indication on that. The only reason why this car was driving so well to start with was because of how rich it was. Obviously, just because it feels right doesn't mean that it is right. So after 6 full turns, and that's pretty happy at the moment, so I'll go through and sort the carburetor out. So here's just to show you what's been going on with this one after I've baselined it. You can see that it's just on, it's actually just below stoichiometric, right to about 3000 RPM, which is absolutely fine with this ignition system. After that it just takes off super lean. So that's why most needles aren't right, and it's probably why it was actually adjusted so it was rich, was so it would compensate for this massive step. So again, just because it feels like it's running right through the range doesn't mean that it is. With where this was originally set to, I'd say it was probably closer to the bore wash, or past bore wash. So, you know, doing damage to the engine, but it would have felt fine to drive. So again, best to get it checked. Just to go a little bit further with this, I've got the dash pot piston out. So that's the spring that came out. So that's actually originally was a red spring. Here's the length of a new one. New ones do vary in different lengths, but obviously you can see how much this one's collapsed. So throw that one in and re-get and go back through my readings. So by just changing that red spring out, so added the new line there, that's stoichiometric right there. So you can just see that we're just below that a little bit. And then obviously that's just from what the spring's done. So obviously needle's still not quite right, but certainly better than what it was. Obviously as parts wear out, that will obviously affect naturally what everything's doing. That's the fueling side of it all done. You'll see from the graph now. So I've now drawn in a new line there saying, alright, come on, focus, you're not going to. Okay, that's 15 AFR. So that was the new spring, and that's with a needle modification. I mean, no one's going to be cruising at near on 5,000 RPM, and if they are going flat stick. So yeah, I'm absolutely happy with this, and it's ready for a test drive. So here we have our next tune. This is a 1976 Clubman. A custom dash going on. And this customer's actually thought about it. He's fitted a wideband sensor to it with an extra bit of length on the lead, so I can actually put it in the engine bay while I'm doing my work. But this one has got a worked up 998. Alright, as you can see, I've got it all back together now. I have gone through and matched the rise rates and drop rates. At the moment, these are just running SAE 30. Just that's in the meantime. Jets have been centered. They were actually loose when they came in. The customer already knew about that. He just couldn't get them perfect, so he just wanted me to sort that out. So yeah, as I say, I've sorted that out. Now I can get started on a cold start, make sure that's all right, and then I can start on the ignition side of it, and then I can go back to the carbs. So a wee bit of initial setup to do, but well worth the time. So just had the car running, and I noticed that it was making a slight, quite a heavy tapping sound when you revved it, and I actually thought it was bottom end related, but yeah, I've done some quick checks, and I found that this tappet here was actually collecting on the rocker cover. Just a wee piece inside the rocker cover there that had been played with a wee bit, so don't know what's quite going on there or why that would be the case, but what I'll do is I'll go through and reset the valve clearances, and I'll make sure there is no pedestal spaces either. That might change the rocker geometry. I don't think there are. It doesn't look like it, but while I've got the cover off, I may as well check. But I did notice, and I'll show you this now, this one here likes to rock side to side. So realistically, these rockers should be replaced, because yeah, there's going to be no accuracy in setting these. Although I have found that this is a 14th hour feel blade. I have been informed this is a quite a worked cam, but no specifications are given, so I'll go with safe number 14, and I can't even get it in under that one. So I'll go through and reset them as best as I can with, again, what I've got. Alright, so I've done my first run through, and as you can see, the needles that are fitted to it are far too rich. We're getting into 12 to, I didn't draw the graph low enough, but you kind of get the point of it's far too rich. It's already into bore wash territory through this range here, up until about 4,000 RPM, and then it just takes off. So I will go needle hunting now and see if we can get this a lot closer, which chances are will certainly be the case. So obviously done a wee bit more work on it. Found that I had the piston on this side was sticking at about 1500 RPM and then it would take off again. So I've addressed that. Obviously when they're on the bench they were showing nicely, but as soon as I had them bolted down nice and snug, the side was giving me issues. So I've sorted that out. Took a wee bit of scratch in the old head. But now this is what I've got
So the first line there, as we went through earlier, that was M needles with red springs. This is now red needles with blue springs. So as you can see, a bit of a different graph going on. So what I'll do is continue on that, and I had actually tried several other needle options, and that's where I found that piston was giving me issues. So that one just snuck past me, but obviously there's a couple of discrepancies going on between these two carbs. I think this is actually an older carburetor body. These aren't actually a matched pair. But yeah, again, I'll do the best with what I can, with what I've got.
So here we are. I've got it sitting there at, I'll show you. So just a little bit richer than stoichiometric. And the final reading starts off just above 14, as I've just shown you. And it just goes just below 15, and then about stoich right through. It does take a wee bit of a dip and around that 4,500 RPM mark. Realistically, I can make this richer throughout here, just a wee bit of needle modification. Chances are I'll probably do that, but at the point in time, I'm probably going to talk to the customer about these carbs, because I'm not entirely happy with them, because they just seem to be fluctuating a lot. So it's probably just due to that dash pod again on that body, not a matched surface. So yeah, I'll go back to him and talk to him about that, but at the moment it's good enough for a test drive. Right, so I have taken it for a quick short drive. It does go incredibly well. Now I've just spoken to the customer, and he's going to look at doing some other bits and pieces on it in the future. I have talked to him about the carbs and how they're mismatched, and I've talked to him about the ignition system. So obviously still a couple of bits and pieces here to improve on, but that's also the point, is there's room to improve. So not every car is perfect straight after a tune. Obviously some cars need a little bit more work to get them dialed right in. And unfortunately this one's, having the vacuum advance missing, and having the vacuum advance port blocked completely off, and having the mismatched carbs. It's a bit unfortunate, but at the moment it's far better than what it was when it turned up. So so I'll put the air filters back on it. I'll make sure that the fueling's not wandering around too much. I'll just do some tidy up jobs on it, and then that'll be it. So here we are. As you can see, he's got a wee bit of a smile on his face after taking it for a run. Naturally, we found a few things wrong with it. Yep. But having done what we've done with what we've had and what we've got, what do you think?
It's fantastic. This is my first sort of my first old car. I never realised an old car could run so smooth and so nice. When you fix that sort of drivetrain noise, before that I sort of thought, old cars are noisy. They still are compared to new cars, but this is just now so much quieter, it runs so much smoother, pulls really nicely, and obviously, as we've discussed, there's a list of things that we can do to improve it further, but you've done a fantastic job with what you've had.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad that you approve.
I can't not approve. It's you can see the smile on my face.
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to driving this home for the weekend, so that I can get out, have a bit of a fun in it, and looking forward to where we can take it next once we sort out the dizzy, the carbs, sort all that sort of stuff out, and get it running like it should. Well, it already feels like it's running like it should, but get it running even better. Thank you.
It's quite all right. So you'd recommend it? It's pretty obvious.
I got it running in my garage by myself. I was stoked to get it running. You've gone. I went from not running to running. You've taken it to here. So,
Well, jolly good. We can only go.
It can only get better from here.
That's it. That's exactly right. Oh, thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Just want to just add in here that I was actually using my own gauge in the end on the twin carbureted car. That was simply because of the readings I was getting on the customer's gauge. I ended up comparing mine and his together, and yeah, there was quite a difference there. I talked to the customer about it as well, and he and I both agreed that it was down to the cheaper gauge that he'd fitted in the car. But yeah, that's all right. It is what it is, and we managed to get it a lot closer than what it came in with.
So I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown of what's been happening in the last couple of weeks. I haven't been on the camera for about 2 weeks now. I was actually crook last week, and this week I've just been playing catch up. So I'll show you what's been going on. Got this one here for a gearbox rebuild. The double roller bearing in it is all garked up, so going to get a full strip down. I now have the 998 out of the yellow Mini City. This came in for Warrant of Fitness. It's had rear brakes done, CV joint done, and also steering rack. This is going to have a carburetor rebuild and full tune. So here's the other 998 that I was building up. All looking really nice and tidy now. So yeah, that'll be carburetor rebuild and a full tune as well for running in. Right, so we're back into it today. This one's getting carburetor rebuild and then a full tune with an electronic ignition to get rid of the points. That's just at the customer's request. Obviously, once we get into it, we'll find a little bit more. But this here is the carburetor off the wee green Clubman 1100. There's a few things wrong with it. A few things not quite right with it either. As you can see, someone soldered that up in the hope to remedy a fault that they were having. There was some play in the throttle shafts, yeah, eventually they were worn. And then the cushion on that is next to non-existent. It's just completely flush with the rest of it. So this will be getting a good going through. A whole lot of loveliness in there, so it'll be naturally getting a fuel filter at the same time. Here we have a Clubman 1100. Certainly a wee bit of a time machine, this one. Can't see there, it's only done 89,000 Ks from brand new. Only 2-3 owners, I believe. I've just reconditioned the carburetor right. I'll go through the ignition system and see what I find there, and then we'll get back into the carburetor side of it. So just getting into it there, and it's actually got BPR 6ES spark plugs in it, which are too cold for a 998 or an 1100. And they're actually a resistor plug as well, so we had 3.9 ohms of resistance on that, so there'll be there'll be no power to the spark plugs there essentially, so hence why they're looking like this, especially that one there. So let's carry on. Right, so I've got BP5ES spark plugs in here now, gap 25 there, because this is now a 3 ohm system, not the high power ignition system. New leads, because the old ones were in the range of about 25k ohms, which is just excessive any day of the week. So yeah, new coil to match. So yeah, we'll go through and get onto this side of it now. Right, so this one proved to be a little bit trickier. You'll notice the coil change ended up going to a 1.5 ohm coil with this distributor, just to make it a little bit more powerful through the, or actually just to give the spark plugs a little bit more oomph. Now, ended up getting 30 weight oil with a modified ABD needle. There's probably another needle I could have gone with, but that's what I had on hand at the time. Now I do believe that there's a cylinder head issue with this one, not quite sealing properly. All my readings were fluctuating rich, lean, just oscillating like that quite badly. So yeah, some further work's required, but it's really still smooth to drive, and it's still great on acceleration. But obviously some more work can be done to improve it. Andy's just been out for a drive in his wee 1100 Clubman. And what do you think?
You're 3 for 3. It's a totally different car from what it came in. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's exactly what I'd expect it to be. And it's a total transformation from the barely running thing that came in. Thank you very, very much.
It's quite alright. Considering that it still needs some additional work.
I'm lost for words for a 49-year-old motor that's probably never been apart, and on the tired side, yeah, if that's a Mini, I'm impressed, and that's a tired Mini.
Yeah.
No, wow.
Ah, excellent. Alright, you can go and enjoy it now.
Yes, I certainly shall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As you can see, not all the minis that I've been tuning, or not all the cars I've been tuning, can be completely dialed in without some form of other work needing to be done. Be carburetors, distributors that need a different ignition curve, or even more engine work that we initially thought was required. If that's cylinder head work, in the way of valve seats causing all sorts of different readings, which is what I was getting in the 1100 and the wee green one. I've had that a couple of times, just not as excessively on this one, so it did throw off my readings quite a wee bit. But that's also part of my job is while I'm going through the car tuning it, is to determine what's wrong with the car, if there's any faults to be found. But yeah, it's the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, some of these cars have been running so rich for so long, or they're running so rich when they come to me, that as soon as you just lean out the mixture to start tuning it, or to actually, sorry, not lean out, but to correct the fueling, this is where we start finding other issues with these cars. It is what it is, and we can only go on from there. So as you can see, Andy was really impressed with how his 1100 was going. I've tuned 2 of his other cars in the past, so hence why he said I was 3 for 3. So yeah, although this one needs a little bit more work, we'll get it dialed in come January when he brings it back for some more engine work. He's already talked to me about that off camera, so I was more than happy to accommodate him in that regard. Now, it's basically it for this video. I do have another video coming out soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, so please watch out for that. It's going to have a couple more minis in it, maybe a wee update with some of my engine builds. I've done a wee gearbox build in the interim as well, so you'll see, if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see a couple of those updates in that regard. But yeah, I should have a KP60 Toyota Starlet coming in. I believe it's 1982 for a wee tune-up as well. It does have side drafts on it, and I do believe they are dual autos from memory. The last time I tuned this car was about 4 years ago. So yeah, I'll get back into that one, and hopefully you'll see all that on YouTube as well. But like always, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that lovely stuff. And we'll see you all next time.